What's up, guys? So today's video is going to be about my board madness. We're going to talk about Slappy trucks. We're going to talk about these Tensor Maglite trucks, which I've actually been really liking a lot. And yeah, this is leading up to my Grind King Locker 2 review, which will probably be like next week, maybe the week after that. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to get the same people that skated the lockers before to skate them again. So if you were one of the people that skated them in my other video, hit me up. So yeah, this board has a 15-inch wheelbase. I actually tried to experiment with it a little bit by moving the wheelbase in, and then I kind of chopped the edges off to tighten it up a little bit, make it feel like a smaller board. It's 8.5, but it's a longer board. I actually cut some wheel wells in there too. So the Tensor Maglites are super light. They're kind of tall, but they also push the wheelbase in kind of like Ace or Indy. So it has a little bit smaller wheelbase with these. I actually like these Maglites on this board better than anything else I have right now. They turn really well. They're actually pretty dippy. I've tightened them down quite a bit, but they actually have a lot of turn, the tall ones. The short ones have no turn. They've got lean and no turn, but the tall ones have a pretty responsive dippy turn. The bushings are kind of soft. So the bushings on the Maglites are weird. They actually go down into the hanger. So you really can't replace them with normal bushings because the hole is not the size of the kingpin, it's the size of the bushing. So yeah, they're really strange, but they were the lightest trucks until some company, maybe from Brazil or something, made one truck lighter, but they're pretty good. These are much better than I thought. You know, if Daywan and Rodney skate them, or at least skated them at one time, they can't be too bad. They actually, the turning geometry and everything about the truck is pretty good. It grinds good. Dan Corrigan has a good video about the grind, and Ben DeGrow has a good video with a lot of flip tricks. In that video, he says they're really good for manuals, which is true. So yeah, I've been skating a long wheelbase with the Maglites. Also, I've been skating the Maglite lows, and this particular board, I've got the Grind King Locker base plate with the Maglite lows, so you got a lot of kingpin clearance. And yeah, these are super light. They don't turn as much as the tall ones, but I like them better for technical stuff. They're really low. They're really good. I've got a little bit bigger, wider wheels on this board. So I've been skating the Grind King Lockers, but yeah, I did crack the base plate and the hangers on my lockers, but the Locker 2s are actually beefed up a little bit, so I'll be talking about those next week. This is probably the board that I've felt the most comfortable on lately. Most of the technical stuff I will do with this board. It's small, it's light, it flips good. This is from Woodchuck Laminates. Now this is the exact same board as the next one I'm going to show, the red one, but they feel totally different. Woodchuck Laminates does Revives boards, and they're great and they're super cheap, but the shapes aren't always the same. So with Dwindle, like this other board I was looking at here, they press their boards one at a time, single press deck, and this is an R7. These decks are pressed 5 at a time, so they're a little bit different. So this red one is the exact same board, but it feels totally different. This one is flat, the concave's flat, the kicks are flat. This one was probably the bottom deck, and then the other one was probably one of the top decks. Totally different feel. This one I'm skating Slappies. They're relatively new. I'm still thankful for Mike for sending me Slappy lows for free. That was really kind of him for that review back a while back when they first came out. Yeah, and this is a smaller board, so I've got kind of smaller Slappies on there. I've been kind of struggling with this board. It's great for kick flips. It's really flat. I'm struggling with certain other tricks. I just don't get a lot of pop on it for just ollieing over something or anything like that. It's really flat. You can't really tell on this video, but it's a super flat deck, even though it's the exact same deck. I just ordered multiple of the same deck, and they're totally different shapes, which is cool. I like experimenting with different shapes, but not everybody would like that. I still would definitely suggest Woodchuck Laminates because their decks are cheap and they're pretty good. Also, I've been experimenting with this board from Madness. It is a 10.75, I think. I've also got some Slappy lows on this board. And we've got SYS grip on all of these boards. Also, these are these bolts from Grind King. I can't remember what they're called, but they're pretty cool. They don't come loose, and you don't really even need a screwdriver because it sticks into the board. They're pretty cool. I've never done a review on those. I've experimented with bigger wheels. My pinky's kind of messed up there. And smaller wheels. Right now we got some smaller wheels on this board, and smaller wheels on a big board like this actually makes it feel like a smaller board. So this board's still good for kick flips, 3 flips, and stuff like that. It's felt great for all of that stuff. I've also been experimenting with a steeper board from Madness. I've also skated a few other boards from Dwindle with this exact same shape, and this one's got steeper kicks, steeper concave, and yeah, I feel pretty comfortable on it. It hasn't hurt my ankle or my knee at all. I've also got some Slappy lows on this one, and I've got Bones Formula X wheels on all of these. Every board I have will have either Dragon wheels or Bones Formula X wheels on it. The Dragon wheels I got for free when the Powell rep came through town. They had him meet with me. But yeah, I can skate whatever wheels I want. It's just I enjoy skating these. They do slide. Some people on the internet say they don't slide. They absolutely do slide. Of all the steep boards I've skated, it's just this SYS grip and everything, this whole setup feels pretty good. Even though it says it's got steep kicks and steep concave, I really like it. I feel super comfortable on it. Definitely did some flip tricks, skate the mini ramp. Everything feels great on it. Maybe like a smaller board like this, 8 1/4, would feel better with steeper kicks. You know, maybe I don't really skate steeper kicks when I'm skating a bigger board like a 10 or anything like that. But something like this, it actually feels pretty good. What do you guys think? Do you think I'm totally off on that? So these trucks have been great with the Slappy base plates and the Tensor mag light hangers. They've felt amazing, better than Slappys normally feel. I mean, they've turned great, really surfy, grind really good. But I want to see how they feel with the actual Tensor base plates. I believe these moved them in a little bit as far as the wheelbase goes, more like Indy. I tried to move the wheelbase in and add some wheel wells on this Madness board. It has a 15-inch wheelbase. I tried to move it into a 14. You really can't move that back truck in because it actually changes the way it pops, and I just don't get any pop now. So yeah, also when you're pushing, sometimes when you move the front truck back too much, when you're pushing, sometimes you just fall because you have your foot where it normally is over the truck, where the deck starts to curve up, but it's not in the right spot. I also tried to narrow out the nose of the deck, point it a little bit. Yeah, none of this worked except the wheel wells. Those actually work out really good. So this has actually been my 360 flip board because it has a shorter wheelbase. I really just keep it in the car just for 360 flips. It's actually great for kick flips and for everything else, but really good for 3 flips. You got this big wide front area for catching the board. So yeah, I definitely like this for my 3 flips. Good board. Before I mess this board up, I actually could do 3 flips on it. It's a little bit harder because it's a 15-inch wheelbase, but everything else like kick flips and manuals and everything felt great on this board. It's an 8.5, and yeah, I actually really liked it before I screwed it up with all the adjustments. Skating this board around, it's pretty decent. Everything feels good on it, except the wheels just feel a little too small. These are worn down Dragon wheels. I think I'm actually most comfortable on the steepest board. This is a Madness board, and it has decent sized wheels. I think it's just got a little more pop. So sometimes I like a steeper board. It just hurts my ankle. I didn't even realize this, but Tensor mag lights, the talls, they're squirrely. They're like Ace. They're more squirrelier than Slappy's. Like, these turn sharp, the taller ones. So maybe it's just me, but on Slappy's, when you have a really big wheel, they feel turny and dippy. And when you have a really small wheel, they feel stable. So they feel like Thunders when you got a small wheel like this. But when you got like 58s or 60s, they feel like really dippy, like Ace. And I don't know if anybody else has experienced that, but it just makes them feel a little taller. And that doesn't make any sense, but that's just how I feel.
But hope you guys enjoyed this video. Scroll through my channel, check out my other videos, hit the subscribe button, and thanks for watching.